David, how are you? How's Anne? Good to see you. We're getting started. Closed door. Good thing. Senators, I have a brief opening statement. How did it happen? Our drug killed 50,000 people. 50,000 American people. That's the Vietnam Memorial without the names. How should we understand it? What should we call what happened? It happened because it was a war. It was a war, and that's what happens in war. People die because they're the enemy, just because they get stuck in the war. It happened because 50,000 no-name people got stuck in the war. The tooth fairies think it was about money. That's how tooth fairies think, all transactional. You drop a tooth, the tooth fairy slips you some coin. Academics say it was greed. Greedy drug companies, big bad pharma. We don't deal with tooth fairies. And we don't deal with professors either, except the ones we already own, which are many. Point is, we don't need more money. We have plenty of money. We're not greedy, senators. We are competitive. We're about winning. And money is how you know you're winning. The numbers, total sales, just like Vietnam, body count. Our numbers beat their numbers, big time. And that's how we knew we won the war. Our drug made $3 billion a year. $3 billion is twice the entire FDA budget, not just for drugs, for everything. Kibble and bits, contaminated avocados, rat poison, everything. We destroyed the competition. We burned their village completely. Pile of ashes. Pile of ashes. Have any of you been in combat, senators? Show me hands. Okay. 2 of you will get what I'm talking about. The rest of you, focus in. I'm going to teach you about war. Your munchkins in Washington never win the war. They fuck it up. They fucked it in Vietnam. They fucked it in Iraq. They fucked it in Afghanistan. FDA fucked it with us. They tried. FDA drug safety came here and begged you for $150 million. That's pocket change. That was before the war. And you did squat. Where were you? Eating corn dogs in Iowa? FDA didn't get a shit from you, senators. They never do. I'll be frank. Even a corn dog is paying some of you too much. You can be had for less. We should know. Now, some of you say, we didn't even need this drug. We didn't even need this war. And you know what? You're right. Tell me about the wars we need. Tell me about the good wars. We don't fight wars because we need them. We fight them because we're in them. Suddenly, the war is up to our assholes, and we fight the war not to be butt-fucked. You get butt-fucked, you lose the war. We don't need them. We don't need any of this shit. Naproxen, ibuprofen, our drug, their drug. They're mostly nothing. Am I thirsty? Am I dry? No. Aspirin. Aspirin is a real drug. Aspirin does something. Acetylsalicylic acid does something. Anybody want some? Anybody have a headache? Heart attack? Aspirin is a real drug. And so is this stuff. Ethyl alcohol, Johnny Black. Johnny Black is a real drug. Pain relief you can count on, works every time unless you take too much with your aspirin, then it can bleed you out like Jack the Ripper. Other than that, great stuff. Take 2 aspirin, take 2 Johnny Blacks, and call me in the morning, afternoon, happy hour, whenever. You can take that to the bank, senators. Take Johnny to Chase or Morgan Stanley, Barney, Smith, Corona, whatever the fuck. Take 2 aspirin and 2 Johnny Blacks. 2 aspirin and 2 Johnny Blacks. You sleep like a baby. Not a goddamn thing will bother you. Not a goddamn thing. Not the war. Not Afghanistan. Not 50,000 dead arthritics. Not 50,000 dead soldiers. Not 50,000 names nobody knows. Not black lives, white lives, green lives, no lives. Nobody. Nothing. No bodies bother you. Any questions? Had you going, didn't I, senators? I really had you going. I was a theater major. Great training for business, yeah? And politics. So I play the guilty Vietnam vet or pharma exec trying to numb out with booze. What do the shrinks call it? Survivor guilt. Moral injury, agonized conscience, yeah. Moral injury for 50,000 dead soldiers. The 50,000 people our drug killed. It's a comforting story. We like to tell it. It makes good television. There is remorse. There are consequences, even though in real life, there almost never are. At least not serious ones. At least not for us. The flask is Diet Coke. Aspirin's real. I'm wide awake. Now let me be clear. Our drug really did kill 50,000 people. And it really was about winning the war. Total victory. One of our sales reps was interviewed, direct quote. You can only compare it to D-Day. We were the greatest army the world had ever seen, and we were swept up in the path to complete victory. That's what we got. Complete victory. Our drug was a blockbuster, a superstar. We won. And that's what matters. Still does. But you all know that, because that's what matters to most of you. Any lie, any trick, main thing, stay in power. Just win. So in the end, you don't need my story. My story is the same as your story. We're on the same team. We are the winners. We keep moving. We don't lose sleep. And we don't look back. Any questions?